Hi, Luciana, nice to meet you.
Well, I don't know if you know, but I am from Uruguay and I am a big fan of your visual work. My English is a bit basic, so I have my questions ready here to be clear as possible.
First, thank you.
Well, you made history using artificial intelligence visual for Madonna Celebration Tour. Was
hmm
it difficult to convince her to use this technology instead of traditional methods?
I would say she's pretty open as creative collaborator to work on the projects, and especially like when you bring in new solutions and technology, she's always down to experiment. So that's why like we were doing a few different solutions and like try to go like CGI route and like animations, illustrations, but that felt the most practical and time efficient way to achieve something that would work for the show. And of course, it's like a first one of a kind, like text to the video. Visual was like 2 years ago. And technology is still evolving and we like keep experimenting and like trying to do new implementations and solutions with AI.
And how was it?
It was tedious, but also technology evolved so much over last 2, 3 years. And I would say back then it was far more complicated. Nowadays it's easier, but it all comes to the art direction and creative directions. It's very much, you have to lead AI with the taste, and I would say that's the most challenging because like you have almost unlimited solutions and possibilities to create anything. But if you have a strong direction, Billy, it's great. It's amazing to have in your pocket.
Well, talking about this, I think historically, every time a new technology arrives, people predict the end of something. For example, people say TV will kill cinema or radio, and now many people fear AI. But you say it's just a tool. In this context, what is the human touch that technology can never replace in your films and your work?
I would say technology would never replace its taste. It's the taste and human touch, that sensibility that human person has, the control behind these tools. It's like, there used to be illustrations and there's the CGI, and with AI, it's like it's a post CGI era. And it really requires to have a great taste and directions and how to use these tools. And I believe, it's all comes to what do you have to say or it's how it's utilized. There's many ways, the AI can be used, like, like creating the B-roll footage. Sometimes when directors missing out extra shots, you can create extra inserts. And even sometimes with the actors. Imagine you forgot to, you know, do extra take with the person and with the actor or even model if it's like fashion campaign and you want like you desperately need something else to cut away. Like nowadays with AI, you can create that, which is quite an amazing opportunity because it helps to expand the creativity and push it further, I would say. Because now these tools like they're widely available, but it really comes to how it's utilized, especially in the big production levels.
You study chemical engineer, it's okay?
Yes. Yeah, yeah.
Does that scientific mindset help you when you are directing complex visual projects for brands like Margiela, for example?
Absolutely. I would say that's probably the only way it's like I was able to collaborate with so many different artists on so many different levels. It's this engineering set of mind. Because like I was studying chemical engineering and it's like analytical chemistry. So I always had to analyze and utilize like different uh, formulas to create the solutions. And pretty much that taught me this skill could be applicable even to creativity. When you're creative, but you're seeking for different solutions and you're just not so narrow-minded in a way, because there's many ways to find the different solution and approaches. And I believe that's one of the biggest advantages I have, coming from the science and going into the art.
Sasha, what is the next big challenge or technology you want to explore?
I'm really curious and interested, like if it's possible to create something with AI that creates an emotion in humans. In the same way, it's like the same way like it's the real cinema evokes the emotions and the experiences. If it's possible to do the same with AI technology, and I believe same way it's like if there's a right concept in the right direction, it's quite possible. So I'm really excited to explore that side and more artistic, like utilizing AI for like art and creating more emotional resonant experiences.
Can you give me some example for this? How could you generate?
I mean, just if imagine that there's social media is, I would say, over polluted with different AI videos. But my take is like, is it possible to create something that is as strong as it's created by different artists with the real people to do the same with AI? If it's possible to create visual and create an actor, I would say, or fictional character that can create and evoke emotions in people, because AI is pretty cold. It doesn't have a lot of like feelings, and even when it comes to the visuals, it's very one-dimensional. But I'm very curious to know if it's like, and push myself to create more emotionally resonant visuals with people, because I think that's the tool becomes extremely powerful. When it's like when you create a visual and in real humans it evokes feelings and emotions, and sometimes it stays for longer. So hopefully, like I would love to explore these stories and narratives and visuals that could create an emotional impact in people.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for this interview. It was a pleasure to
Thank
hear
you.
your perspective. I really appreciate your time. Good luck with your next project. And
Thank you
well,
so much.
we see.
Thank you so much. Talk to you
Thank you.
soon again, hopefully.